We just launched a new app. It's called MajorDomo as a Service. And the primary function of this app today is to clean up your Domo instance Marie Kondo style. The primary page of the app is the MajorDomo console, which we're on right now. Let me walk you through this at a high level, and we're going to be going fast because we want to keep it short. So at the top here, we're highlighting the key metrics that you care about, right? Most Domo customers are being charged by user or by row or by data flow count or by execution if you're on the execution model. So we want to highlight those metrics right here at the top. We want to then run our algorithm to identify what's the junk in your instance. How many users do you have in here that aren't active? How many rows of data do you have in here that just aren't being used in any way, etc. We've got a couple of extra placeholders here for your executions or whatever else you might care about. But we run our algorithm to identify the junk. And then once we've identified the junk, we create this task list. Here's all of the junk and a process for handling it. The same way you clean up the desktop of your computer, we want to clean up your Domo instance. So normally if you have, junk on your desktop, you take it and drop it in the trash bin, and it stays there for however long until you decide to empty the trash bin. Same process happens here. We create a task list, and for content, let's say it's users or rows or whatever, the first step is to trash bin it. So that's a soft delete step in our mind. What does trash bin mean? Well, it depends on the resource. For a card, it means remove access, right? For a data set, it might mean disable the data set and remove access. So for each particular component of Domo, there's a specific process for trash binning that. The idea is we want to give your users an opportunity to complain, right? It doesn't look like any of this stuff has been used before. Let's remove their access, stop it from working, see if anybody complains. That's what you're trying to do with a trash bin on your desktop, right? Remove it from access, see if you ever go take it back out of there. And then after a certain amount of time, we want to empty that trash bin, but we want to do that safely. So after X amount of time, let's say 30 days, we want to go ahead and remove everything from the trash bin and delete it. We'll do that, but we do go ahead and back it up first. We put a lot of work into building our own cloud database that will back up all of the content. We don't back up data sets today, but everything else in Domo, we go ahead and we back up the definition of that before we delete it so that if you do ever need to recover it, you can. And that's an automated process here. You can go ahead and evaluate all the content. There's links to every different component within Domo. If you decide that there's certain things you don't want to have trash binned right away, you can go ahead and snooze those until the next run of your cycle, and they'll appear in your snooze list. If you identify that we have created a task that should never run, you can go ahead and dismiss it, and it'll never show up in your task list again. Of course, you could go ahead and add it back in if you wanted to, if you changed your mind later. Now, if you want to go ahead and run this yourself, just go ahead and click the button. You can run it now. There are 80,000 tasks here. You don't necessarily want to have to go and do all 80,000 tasks yourself. Leave that to Steve. He's our server in Iowa that is happy to perform all of these tasks for you. He's corn-fed, he's robust, he works 24/7. And he'll perform all these tasks for you. He'll trash bin the content that needs to be trash binned. He will back up and delete the content that needs to be backed up and deleted. If you want to, use these cards to filter the content and the tasks in here, feel free. And then here's your trash bin list. As things do get trash binned, we'll go ahead and populate your trash bin list. There's filters here to help you find that. And if you say, hey, you know what? I do know that I'm ready to just go ahead and delete this thing. Just click the delete button or restore it or back it up, or just wait for our process to automatically empty the trash bin for you, back it up and delete this stuff. Now, there are a lot of parameters in here that you might want to fiddle with. We've set these up just as simple web forms to finagle your parameters in here. So for its failed data flow, the default action is to disable that. Well, maybe you want to change that default action. Maybe you just want to go ahead and automatically back that up and delete it, right? Maybe you don't want your trash bin days to be 30. Maybe you want there to be 45 days that it sits in the trash bin, etc. We allow you to edit those parameters. And then the setup, as far as how often this whole process runs, is also managed in a web form. You got a cron string in here and a couple of the key data values that are needed in order for this process to run. I know that's high level, that's fast, wanted to keep it short. If you have questions, please reach out to us. We're super excited about this and excited to get out to the community.